Is my GF being too hard on herself? My partner, 21F, and I, 23M, are both in our first serious adult relationship, and it's been the happiest LV ever been over the last year. She's usually calm about her emotions, but I can tell one thing in the past bothers her. She's about as innocent can get. No past outside of a couple relationships she considers non-serious. Her version of serious is pretty light too. There was one person she met before me she talked with for a few months. She hates calling him an ex because she never liked him that much. Sure, he was nice and funny at first, but she could never feel truly comfortable around him. He would say stuff like "I love you" super early on, and she could never say it back. He was nice to her in the beginning, and she just was holding on that maybe he would be better. Other than that, he was a walking red flag and would cover it up with sad stories about his past relationships. She kind of stayed with him out of pity, and if the guy wasn't a POS, I'd feel bad because she didn't kiss him, say "I love you," or really do anything romantic. She has a bit of an issue with being too nice and not being able to say no. He clearly tried taking advantage of that. She still lives with her parents, and during the holidays he came over and made her feel bad enough to let him crash on the couch for a few days. She described it as weird, but at that time, he was nice and respectful enough. Plus, her dad is an avid gun owner, so she wasn't worried about him doing anything. A week after he moved back to another state with his mom, my GF already had time off work and was visiting with family on vacation when he asked her to fly over to see him. She didn't really want to, but he said it was his birthday and he would be sad if she didn't show. Like I said, she was too nice to say no and agreed. So she got the ticket and flew over after her family visit and spent about a week, maybe less there. On day one, she realized she should end it with him before. The whole experience in general wasn't terribly awful. They just went to dinner a few times, and he would work during the day. The problem came with the sleeping arrangement and him showing signs of being a bad dude. She was assuming it was a separate room deal, but that wasn't the case. She's pretty religious, and sleeping in the same bed is a big deal to her. She hated it. She wanted to build a pillow wall, but he said that's childish. He didn't respect her boundaries with sharing a bed, but she really didn't have anywhere else to go. Thankfully, he never tried to make a move or touch her, and she slept on the opposite side of the bed thinking about going home the whole time. She feels super guilty about it, and I feel awful that she feels that way. The red flags didn't stop there. During the week, he yelled and sweared at his mom, who was a super sweet woman. Another time, he talked to her about getting more physical. She felt very uncomfortable during that conversation, and he changed it to just being able to hold hands or cuddle instead of it being intimacy. She said she still wanted to take it slow. In other words, no. Once she went back home, he called her and told her she needs to eat more because she's skinny, and she ended it there. I told her she should be proud of herself for knowing the signs of toxic relationship and ending it before it got bad. Yet she feels awful for even being with him and especially sharing the same bed with a guy. I personally don't see it as a huge deal, but she feels terrible about it. I can tell at times it gets to her because she feels like she committed a sin. She feels robbed of an innocence despite knowing nothing happened. I told her she didn't really have a choice, and nothing happened besides sleeping, so no real harm done. She agreed, but I still think she's bothered by it. I told her it's all about the intentions behind it. I wouldn't have judged her if anything did happen, but it didn't, and there is no issue or sin. I'm thinking of ways to make her feel more at ease about it. But what are your thoughts? Is she overthinking this?